This is Kevin Dole with Home3D.us in Los Angeles, and I'm going to talk about how I go about planning virtual tours, particularly for high-end residential properties. I start by going to Google Maps, that's maps.google.com, and then I put in the address. And I've been there before, so this came up right away. So here's the property. Once I've got the property, I don't need all this stuff, so I'll just go away. I know it's this house here, and I can see that this is north. Up on the map is always north initially. Go over to satellite view, and I can see clearly that the sun is going to come up here from the east, so I'm going to get good sun in the backyard. Mid-morning, noon, still good sun in the backyard. Later in the afternoon, sun's going to come around. And by quite late in the afternoon, maybe 4 o'clock or so, I'm finally going to get sunlight directly on the front of the house. So the front of the house is going to have to be photographed to get the best results late in the day. I can also look at 3D view, which I like. Large cities have 3D view now. And I can see, interesting, look. The houses behind this property are up about 30-40 feet higher than this house. Therefore, I can see that that's going to affect my choice of drone positions. I'll get to that later. Anyway, to look at the house overall, we see that there's a nicely landscaped front yard and a backyard with a pool, built-in jacuzzi spa, sports court, and in 3D view I can see that there's a covered patio as well. I see there's an outdoor barbecue over here as well. So there's a lot of nice features in this property. Matterport is a great technology, but it's one that really only works properly indoors. So it's great for the house, first floor, second floor, but it can't do the yard. Or let me say it's very difficult to do the yard properly. Matterport has a system called 360s, exterior 360s, which can be shot and will connect to the Matterport, but then you have the dollhouse view of the Matterport with exterior bubbles that show up, and those bubbles can be clicked on, and you get a 360 from that position. But they're really clunky. You can't really tell. You don't see the yard, and the dollhouse view, doesn't exist for the yard. And the bubbles. Here's a good demonstration of a problem with the bubbles. This front walk kind of wanders. The front door is right here, and it's recessed. It's back on the level of this curved wall here. This is a sort of a portico covered entrance. And as you come up this walk, if I do an exterior 360 here, for example, Matterport will automatically connect that to the dining room because it's the closest point geographically on the interior scanning of the house. If you have views coming up the front walk, you want to go in the front door. But unfortunately with Matterport, you can't. It'll automatically put a link into this dining room, and Matterport does not give the creator the ability to move it over and stick it on the front door where it belongs. So I really hate the 360 bubbles on Matterport. Aside from that, you don't get any view of the yard or anything. The other thing that I sometimes do, I do as often as I can, on a house like this, is I do scan the entire backyard with the 360 scanner, the Pro camera. But that can only be done when this goes into shade. I live in Los Angeles. It's sunny almost all day, every day of the year. And so the only time this can be done is very early in the morning when it's, if I get there like 6 o'clock before the sun comes up, I can scan for about 40 minutes. Or later in the afternoon, I can see, since this is looking east, I can see that you can see the backyard, it kind of disappears here. So I can see that when the sun gets pretty low in the sky, about an hour before sunset, that backyard's going to fall in complete shade. So sunset now is about 7:30. So from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., I can probably scan this entire backyard and then make it part of the actual dollhouse with Matterport. Anyway, I will be taking this Matterport one way or the other and embedding it within a 3D Vista virtual tour. And for that, I will be using my Ricoh Theta Z1 to scan points like here along the sidewalk, up the walk, in the backyard by the pool, the spa, the sports court, etc. And those will become hotspots in a um, 3D Vista tour. The launch point of the 3D Vista tour will be an aerial panorama, which will look kind of like this. You'll be looking down at the front of the house. You'll be able to turn all around and look around the world, and there'll be hotspots blinking down here on the walk and in the backyard and on the house itself so that you can navigate any place you want to. You'll also be able to jump over to another panel that is on this side looking at the back of the house. Because these houses are higher in elevation, I won't shoot that panel like this because you won't see the pool or sports court. I'll make sure the drone is high enough that you can see the features of the backyard as well as the covered patio and so forth. So I'll have a second drone shot that's up around like this. So one in the front, one in the back, and all those things will be combined along with the Matterport into a 3D Vista tour. All right, this is again Kevin Dole, home3d.us in Los Angeles, and that's step one of my planning for this particular virtual tour. Hope you enjoyed.